Happy birthday, Dad. I'm sitting here in this Star Wars shrine to share some thoughts about you. I did get the chance to watch Clarissa's, and she hit the nail on the head in describing words on you, because I would describe my father as the most intimidating man I've ever met in my life. And that's not a negative thing by any stretch of the imagination. He aired that machismo. You know, I remember being a kid, and when Dad came home, it was like the gunslinger walking into town. You know, whatever you were doing, you stopped doing it if you were acting out, because, you know, he'd walk in and you'd hear him, and if you were misbehaving, it stopped. You know, and you went, and you gave him a hug, and he was hot and sweaty, and because he'd worked all day out in the sun, but he always had time to say hello to you, and then he kind of went on his business, and you got out of his way. And I remember acting out and having Mom say, you know, wait till your father gets home. And that doesn't mean the same thing in today's day and age as it meant back then, because that would terrify the hell out of you, that she was going to tell Dad. You almost wanted to, like, bargain your soul to any deity that might be listening. Please have Mom lose the ability to talk when Dad comes home. Or give me a running start. Because that's the other thing. I used to run from my father when I was in trouble, and I used to hide behind the curtains, and that never works. He would see my feet. But no, my dad's a hard-working guy, always has been. You know, he ran his own business, which is not easy, but he did well enough at it to support his family and then support himself, and then transitioning into Boeing like he did, and when he retired from there, working for himself again, because that's just the type of guy he is. He's definitely where my brother gets the take care of the family mentality from, because my dad's always done that. He's always taken care of his family in South Carolina, and, you know, he was there for his brothers, there for his parents, you know, make multiple trips down there, helping out wherever he could. And so, you know, he definitely passed that on, you know, to not just my brother, but to all his children. Look out for your family as best you can. He was a good guy. You know, I mean, if you got on his bad side, it didn't matter if you were related to him or not, that was your ass until he got it settled, because he didn't take any shit from anyone. But underneath it all, he's a good guy, and he's a lot more emotional than he lets on. He just hides it. I think he covers a lot of things with anger, kind of like I do, because I definitely have his temper. He used to tell me, actually, when I would get angry, that I didn't invent that temper. You know, I totally got it from him. But he's also, he's wise, because he tends to look past your problem. You know, it used to frustrate the hell out of me when I was young, and I was really a basket case, and I would call him, and I would try to vent to him the same way I would talk to my brother or my sister or my mom. And he would shoot right past the problem and say, well, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do this? I'm like, no, Dad, listen to me. I'm an emotional wreck right now. I want to vent. Aren't you supposed to listen to me? No. You can shut up about all that. Let's talk about the actual problem. I don't care how you're feeling. Because that's how his mind worked. Is you can be as upset or pissed off or sad or whatever as you want, but deal with the fucking problem. And, you know, it took me a while to really understand that that's just how he dealt with things, and it's a much easier way to deal with shit. To just, if you have an issue, deal with it, and worry about how you feel about it later. So I've learned a lot from him. And I know that every time we would fly back, it was always a really good time being with Dad, and, you know, he always did his best. You know, no one's perfect. He made mistakes just like everybody else walking the planet has, but he's done, I think, above and beyond to make up for any mistakes that he made. And I also like he never wants to intrude on your time. Usually when he calls me, it's, I'm not bothering you, am I? If you're busy, I can let you go. And it's like, no, Dad, it's fine. I answered the phone. I got time to talk. If I didn't have time to talk, I wouldn't have answered. So I find that oddly endearing, you know, that he never wants to bug you, or he always feels like he might be bugging you. So he just throws that out there. You can, you know, you don't have to talk to me right now. So yeah, he's a good guy that's been through a lot. But he always has time to listen to you or talk to you. You know, and if he can help, he will, and that's just his nature. And yeah, you know, I know I always I always seek his approval, and I don't do that with a lot of people, but I always want him to approve of me. So, happy birthday, Dad. Love you very much.
Well, if we are a reflection of our parents, I'm definitely a reflection of my father.
That's no shit.
Yeah, I realize how much I'm like my father more day by day by day. Like I was making some comment about someone being a little weak the other day, and I was like, God, I sound like Dad. And I have that level of strength and stick to this and just perseverance and work hard regardless of whatever comes your way. And those are all good things. But then I also have some of the, not so good things that I'm sure he would be more than happy to talk about. Right. A temper, can kind of make some rash decisions at sometimes. And not so good at showing real emotion at times, because it's not in, I think it's two things for both Dad and me. One is showing vulnerability, and we don't like showing vulnerability because we don't want to be seen as weak, because people take advantage of weak people. And the second is just not wanting to be a burden. He has he takes care of a lot of people in his life, and he never, I don't think, wants to be seen as a burden on other people. And that's kind of like how I am too. I don't like to burden other people with my problems because I know everybody else has their own problems. And so it's those good things and then those not so great things that Dad and I share. But he's definitely one of my best friends in the whole world, because we just see eye to eye, and I understand him. And everyone has their past and everyone makes mistakes, but damn, he's been a wonderful father for quite a few years now, and he's one of my biggest blessings. God, a hard ass. I would say a hard ass, strong, intimidating to some people. For me, he's more just respectful, because he has an air of confidence that when he talks, people listen. And I love that about him, because when he talks, he usually has something to say, or he's not going to be talking at all. I mean, he's not the most talkative person in the world if he's not comfortable around you. If he's comfortable around you, he'll talk your ear off, but if he's not, he'll just be silent. So I would say probably strong, sometimes a hard ass. I would say that I respect him a lot, considering what I have learned about him over the years. Sometimes it's hard to understand your parents when you don't really know a whole lot about their past. You just think, wow, they weren't doing things right at that time. Mm-hmm. When you dig into what a human being is all about and dig into their past, you have more understanding. And hearing his stories about working a farm and working a mule basically to death, and his battles with his own father, gave me a great insight into who our father is and why he sometimes acts the way he does. And it made me appreciate him more, and it made me want to stop bitching about my own smoke problems.
He's great. I love him to death. I couldn't ask for a better father or a better grandfather for my kids. He is always there for me, no matter what, always there for me. Very humble, very giving. He's just an all-around great guy. There's nothing bad that could ever be said about him on my end. I love him to death, and I hope he has a wonderful birthday, and I hope for many, many more. I love you, Dad.
I was that kid in school that at the end of the argument with the other boys be like, oh yeah, well at least I know my dad can beat your dad. Because I knew he probably could. I'd seen other men cower down in fear to my father, and I watched my father step into some intense situations and take care of business. My dad was like Superman for real. I watched him hit that speed bag like Apollo Creed or Muhammad Ali, and he'd get it, My dad's intensity was like Mufasa. Or sometimes he had that, ominous presence, like Darth Vader or whatever, he just... I don't know what it is, but I think my brother said he oozed machismo or whatever, but he oozes something. He's just, but at the same time, he has that intensity, but, he's a great businessman. I watched him, behind the scenes, whether it was dealing with employees or dealing with people that owed him money. and he was always very, tact with people. He helped everybody in his family. He was always going the extra mile. And this is only part one of this video because I couldn't fit everything in it that I wanted to fit in it. There's still lots of stuff that we need to talk about, after I had left Virginia, and I watched, he dedicated his life to Jehovah, and watching him build kingdom halls and always giving of himself, and again, my dad being a successful businessman, I mean, he chose painting, but like he said in this video, he would have been to the top at anything he chose, I believe. So, and lots of wisdom. If you sit down, you listen to my dad, he's got some things to say, and you might learn something. So, enjoy this video.
I see the talent.
Yeah.
With the families, I see it. It's not something that's just, you can just walk away and say, this is just ordinary. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's extraordinary. Because of background, where it started at. See, it started at a point in my life, I very seldom go back there. Mm. I stay out of there. Because that'll make me depressed. Based on how old I am now I can better handle those.
Right.
Time.
I understand it was a necessity.
Right.
To my very survival at times. But I was stubborn, hard-headed. That's why sometimes we have conflicts. You're too fucking much like me. Thank God for time. It heals things to a certain point.
Remember that.
As long as you don't go back and pick at it.
Right.
Because it'll fester again up here. I always hang this sign up here. A figurative sign. No vacancies.
No what?
No vacancies.
No vacancies.
Because I was sitting out at Mom's and I was 32. Went back to that 32 again. Sitting there in the front room talking, Lake City, talking to Mom and Dad, and they were already in that government housing area off Mathis Road. And I said, Arthur was there too. We cutting up and carrying on. If you're around Arthur, you're going to be cutting up and carrying on. That's
you don't have to tell me.
I said, we almost lost your little butt when you were born. And we're talking, I'm drinking me a little scotch, or whatever the hell he's drinking. And never too much before Mom and Dad died, I swear to God. Mom told you, seal it up, you seal it up. We were like on Bonanza and shit, You seal it up. Mother horse caught right already.
Yeah.
So we, respect her and everything, and so Mom spoke up. Mom got real quiet. I'm like, you get all quiet. So, we try to entertain her.
Yeah. Now you think the entertainment's gone all wrong.
Something didn't go right. I saw that face change over there sitting in that little rocker. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, what I say? I shouldn't have said. Because back in the day, in my day, the most important thing to me, I can't speak for my brothers and my sisters, the most important thing to me was being obedient to my parents. Somehow that was driven into me. I don't know if my grandma called you, put that in there or what. Or my Uncle Herbert, whoever. And I vowed to myself and that guy I used to talk to. Back in that day, I said guy, now I know who he is.
Right.
But back in the day, I had no clue. I kept looking for him, he never was there. I'm like, how in the world can people, they see you and I can't. You see? Where you at?
Right.
When I was young,
Right.
I wanted that man to rescue me and get me out of here. Give me a big horse, just ride me out of here and do something. So anyway, Mom said, son, it wasn't Arthur. That got my attention. I'm like, who was it, Nate? No, it was Nate. So anyway, she said, no, it was you. I swear to God, I almost fell out. I sat there and I'm like, because all this collected information was feeding into the data bank and I couldn't contain it because now I realized why I was so close to that little lady. There was a bond forged that was inseparable. I didn't know why, no matter what, I was going to protect that little lady.
Right.
See? And because she always stood up for me.
Right.
I was different and she knew that. But I'm going to tell you something now. She had to stay on her toes to keep me alive. I I went against Jim Crow law.
Did you see the Klan in South Carolina?
I saw them. If you saw a glow at night,
Yeah.
way down in the forest or
Yeah.
in an odd spot,
Yeah.
don't get curious.
Right?
Go home.
Yeah.
Now, you can get curious if you want. Chances are, you could get hurt if you're not careful. So you have to know how this is about. Daddy taught me that. Daddy, he was instrumental in that in a harsh way. Not very harsh.
What do you mean?
He was harsh. Well, if he had to smack me in my face in public, he did it.
Really?
Yeah, because if there's a black water fountain here, no, let me rephrase that. Colored
Water
here
fountain.
and a white one here. So I went with my dad to the warehouse. We're selling tobacco. That's where you take it to, and they auction it off.
Right.
So much a pound. So I wanted some water, so I went to this one.
Right.
And this white man went berserk. He didn't put his hand on it. Probably bit his finger. He went off a little ignorant like, and you're accustomed to that.
Right.
That's all you see.
Right.
You don't see people walking up to a black gentleman and says, walk into a shop. What do you want, boy? It doesn't make a difference your age, 50, 60, 70.
Right.
That's what they call you, so that
Right.
keeps you down here. They don't want you to build up confidence and be sure of yourself.
Right.
And I refused to live under those. Well, Mom always accused me of not living my life as a child when I was a child. But I couldn't explain to Mom, how can I live my life as a child when I'm being treated by society as an adult? Where's the fun in that?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no fun in that.
Maybe an old soul.
What do I got to look forward to other than work?
Right.
Well, how did Arthur and Irie Jr. and Nate... Anne's older than you, right?
Oh yeah, and 79.
Okay, so it's Anne, then you?
Then Wendella.
Oh, really?
Wendella. Then
Wow.
Helen.
Yep.
Then me.
Then it,
Okay.
Then all the boys after that.
Then all the... Wow.
yeah.
Four boys. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. But the girls were all older. It's weird when you grow up black in the South. You don't have time to focus on your siblings. You're too busy staying alive yourself. But see, with my thinking and the road I had chose, for some reason they didn't go down that road. There was a gap there somewhere. That's why Arthur got pissed off at me one time. And me and him almost stomped down in Myrtle Beach on the freaking beach because I told him I'll drag your ass out there in the ocean and drown you. He accused me of leaving. He didn't know what happened. Things just happen. If you was to ask Harriet Tubman, how many of the families did you rescue?
Right.
Did all the rest of the family knew they were going?
Right.
You do what you got to do, move.
So was Granddad a little bit like you? Was his thinking? Or were you even more radical than him?
The one that was like me and more radical than me was my uncle. Uncle Herbert that got shot down in North Carolina. That happened around 61.
Ooh, wow.
That was my favorite uncle. He was something, man.
Who was
But his biggest enemy, I'll tell you what his biggest enemy was. His goddamn temper. He was your friend. But God help the man that pissed him off. He took that from my granddad, Willie Collier. Now Willie Collier he came up out of Granddad came up out of Oklahoma by way of Illinois to Carolina. And Granddad was the reason that farm. Granddad bought that farm from the woman he married, my grandmother. He bought it from the Hicksons. The Hicksons, that grandma was a Hickson. She was light as you. Hair long like yours. That's why I said something today, because your hair sort of shine like hers. Her hair used to be down the hair.
Oh, wow.
She had Cherokee. Goddamn, she had Cherokee in her. You could her tell. And Granddad bought that farm, and Granddad was a pretty smart man, and he raised his whole family there. but tragedy came. But when he bought the land, he went to all these different farmers and told them, look, I need to irrigate my land. If you let me take the shovel, you didn't have no damn tractors back then. And you couldn't take a mule down there because it would have plowed because it just bogged down. So this is handwork.
Wow.
This is manual shit here. So he agreed that he would cut a ditch through these white people farms, because he had to go through them and some blacks to get to where you got to get to his means. So he would start digging that ditch here through his land. Then when he hit this man's land, this man agreed to pay him 10 cents a day to cut the ditch through his property. Next man agreed to do the same thing, 10 cents a day. So granddad back in the day, if it took him 30 days to cut through this man's property a month, so you look at that 10 cents a day. Not much, but it would buy you a cup of sugar. That's the way granddad thought. He didn't think about, do that. You do what you had to do, man. Right. That's what meant survival.
Yeah.
So that's why that farm is, when I drive on that farm, there's many times I went down there and parked my damn truck I got right now, down there, and I go in the back, 'cause I always carry a cooler when I'm traveling. I open that cooler up, pour me a little bit of this or whatever I got in there, and a beer, sit there and just reminisce. I can see the plum trees in the front yard. I can see Grandma's house. I see Grandma sitting on the porch telling me, boy, now don't be reaching up in that tree and breaking them limbs on that plum tree or that apple tree. Get them off the ground. And I'm looking at the ground, I'm going to reach up and get them. Really? One right there. That type of thinking, Right. And she was a sweetheart. Tough. Oh, yeah, because see, Granddad wasn't around long. Granddad died when my dad was 13. And Grandma didn't know how to deal with Dad because Dad liked hanging out. So when Granddad died, my dad, because I think Grandma did out of necessity. She put Granddad in a boys' home. And Granddad stayed in that boys' home until he was 18. So he didn't know how to love.
For 5 years.
Only thing he had to do is survive. So what Granddad's job was in there, Granddad ran bloodhounds. See, your granddad, he knew dogs. Huh. Shit, dogs knew Dad. Dad could walk up in a damn yard with the baddest dog, and I'm all up on top of the truck and shit. He there rubbing this bad ass. I'm like, you serious? This thing eat me out. Dad said, boy, don't be scared. As long as you got that tail wagging. I said, shut your teeth out. You're on the wrong end, Dad.
I thought Granddad was kind of a little intimidating.
My dad?
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't know him, he could be intimidating. Dad was the biggest cloud.
I think it depends on the person too. He was never intimidating with me.
Yeah, see?
With the girls, he was always a little more friendly.
Oh, no, with Dad.
Yeah, your dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
The girls had to run the house.
Yeah.
If you're a boy or a man,
exactly.
you hell.
Yes. I noticed how he treated men very differently from women.
Yeah. Now, he was a hell of a man now. But I think what happened is, I don't know what happened when he was in there. I can't speculate, but I know it had been tough back in that day. Shit. Yeah. Damn nursing home. Dad born in 1921, so at the age of 13, look at the year, do the math. That's a young boy in this place,
Just being in a boys' school period for that period of time, I'm sure had a dramatic effect on his life.
Yeah, so he was, me and Dad, our relationship was stormy at times. And I think...
How so?
I think the reason it was kind of stormy, now that I can really dissect this in my mind at my age, he saw himself in me. And he saw my fight is the same fight he should afford. But he may not have had the backing I had. My backing was time. His time and all the crap that was in front of him was a hell of a storm to fight through. But it was less by the time I got to that point.
Right.
See?
Makes sense.
So now I got radicalism from D.C., Baltimore, New York,
Right.
people who gonna see this shit, back me.
Right.
See, the biggest thing that happened in the 60s was when it hit the TV.
Yeah.
And they saw what Martin Luther King and everybody was going through down there in the South. But down in the South, I'm telling you, it was no freaking joke. It was rough. Black people that live down there, I think they're stronger than I am. Sometimes I beat myself up because it seemed like I ran and left. And I should have stayed and fight. But then I look at it now when I go down there, I'm like, shit, I made the right decision.
Like, isn't it true you passed your meal out? You worked your meal so hard?
Where'd you hear that?
Is it true?
Sorry for that shit.
You worked the field until your
He
meal.
saw the passed out.
He took a nap.
I was determined.
Did you pass out?
Oh, no. I almost did. I almost injured myself.
So you were working the field by yourself, or
Just me.
just you?
I was the oldest son.
How
gotta
old were you
remember
at
that.
this? Right.
He wasn't out there.
Right. How old were you at this time?
Oh, shit. God damn. Oh, my God.
Because to me, that's like the first time I heard that story, I was like, that's my
I was
dad.
like 12.
Yeah.
That's my dad. Your determination
We'll kill you.
is like it's like trying to bend steel.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it done, no matter what. And if you can't, there's a darn good reason
and
you
there
couldn't.
was a reason behind that. I can't deal with no you can't. You'll never. So that day when that happened, being that you done brought it up, got that damn meal. Good meal. Damn good meal. We hated each other. Because the meal name was Blackie. Tough. You walk up in the stable room, she's standing up in the corner, black, shining like charcoal. You know that damn charcoal shine
Oh, yeah.
sometimes when you wash it? And I had to go in there and get that son of a bitch. And she'd be turning. Well, I didn't know what that shit meant. So Dad came in one day and saw her turning on me. Dad said, boy, get out of there. So I ran out. Dad said, don't do that. He said, when that mule starts turning, every time you try to put the bridle on his head, it's turning like this. It's trying to turn you into that damn corner, and it's going to kick your brains out. Once he gets you locked in the corner, he just back up on you and squish you. Freaking mule? Some bitches, it may look stupid. They survive it.
They know what the work they're going to do right now.
The reason I did it, Dad was the reason I did that. Like I said, our situation was volatile at times. I never would have.
At 12.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I was the oldest son. I started learning how to plow a mule at 8. 8. That's why Mom said I didn't have a childhood. There was no time to play. This shit's real. Then when I played rough. But anyway, Dad had said something. I can't remember what he said. He gave me all these damn chores to do, cutting wood for the fire stove and everything, feeding the chickens and the hogs and the damn other animals. And then over here, you gotta plow this freaking field all day. See, I'd get up early in the morning, early bird, catch him, because he always left early. I'm like, God, no, I want to go with him. That's my dad. I want to go with him, hang with him, be your sidekick.
Right.
Whoever you want me to be. So anyway, I never could catch him. He'd always be gone. So one morning I got up, I called him a lot. He's getting ready to leave. Got in that little old truck he had that time. And I ran out there thinking, just automatically thinking, Dad's son.
Yes.
He gonna scoop me up and throw me in the front seat.
Yes.
What a freaking meltdown that was. This ain't happening like it was supposed to be, like you see on TV.
How did it happen?
Well, what happened is, he said, boy, where you going? I said, I'm going with you. You better get in that house. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then at the same time you telling me to get in the house, you're pulling away. So when you're small and you roll around the ground because your heart is broken, in the Bible they call it
Wailing?
prostrate yourself.
Oh.
In other words, you're at the low point.
Right.
Sackcloth you might hear.
Right.
The word sackcloth showing your, I don't know, lowliness of the situation. See, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Throwing the ashes
Yeah,
from the fire
yeah.
on your head.
Yeah, that's the way they do it back then. But back in my day, it was dirt. Well, you were mad, you know, you just not mad. You so damn hurt you can't be
Disappointed.
mad.
Yeah.
Yes.
You ever been hurt so bad you just can't be mad because you're so hurt?
Billion fucking
You can't
times.
you can't distinguish the two.
Yeah.
Where does one start and the other begin?
Yeah.
Where does one end and the other start? You don't know. So you just have to deal with it. So after I finished get all that dust off me and everything, and that's just didn't go, and that happened. So that kept happening. So I wouldn't ask
Right.
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You put that.
You just set yourself up for disappointments and don't go there.
Never do that. If you can, avoid that. And we do it throughout our lives, even though we say we don't avoid it. Next time, we always somehow do it again. But anyway, so that stopped. I didn't see a necessity in going with it anymore. You know, my age had passed that. That desire to do
Right.
that had grown. It faded.
Right.
When Dad said, for the next 6 weeks, no school. That's it. And I said, Dad, look, last year I struggled.
Your father told you couldn't go to school?
Last year, Dad, I've struggled to make my grade. If you take me out for
awesome.
6 weeks and I'm in ninth grade, I'll never catch up. I'm too far behind in English, too far behind in math, history, might as well forget it. I don't even know what slavery was about. If you keep me out that long, I'm done. Man. So, but you had to do what you were told. Obedience meant your life sometimes. I remember I went out we were playing football, and every year you have to get initiated. They cut your hair off.
Right.
So
How
nobody
long did you play football?
3 years probably.
Nice.
2 years.
What position did you play?
Middle linebacker.
Nice.
I wanted a tough position. I wanted to be hit, and I wanted to hit. That's my
Good way
frustration.
to exert energy.
That's how I work my frustrations off.
Yeah.
I couldn't play basketball. Shit, they threw me off the team the first freaking time I went to try out. I got in a damn fight.
Right.
Guy jumped up, I jumped up the ball, he gonna do this shit. And I'm
Right.
like, oh no, that ain't happening. I ran
Yep.
down and started choking the man and punching him. They said, oh, coach said, you know what, you stick with football. Mom used to say to me, why don't you get up and go somewhere? I said, well, yeah, I just walked down the porch, came back in the house. she be trying to cheer me up. She was far from doing that as a man in the moon. I never saw that coming. Because she always cheered me up. Something she said. She said, well, I think I'll make you a chocolate cake. You want chocolate cake?
Hell yeah.
That cheered me up. Just learn about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had it.
she would go in there and whip that cake up while I'm commiserating. So I'd go out by myself. And Ann had a little club up off of 378. She asked me if I'd run it. I said, you trust me? She said, don't ever let me hear you say that again. Because I didn't feel worthy. I brought all that shame on my mom and dad. More concerned about them than me. See, that shame on your family. They didn't, those people in that church. And Mary Carey walked up in there on Sunday. And they look at my my mother, and I brought reproach on her because I'm falsely accused, but still that doesn't matter.
Right.
Guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
That shit, innocent to proven guilty, is bullshit. The minute you locked up for something, your ass is guilty in the eye of the public.
Right.
So that's what I had to deal with. So I ran up there and ran the place for her, and that was an escape. Now I get to hang with these older guys and girls who coming up in the place, and this little guy back there getting a damn beer. I don't know what fucking beer is. I didn't drink. I was a freaking health nut. Tea and water. So, with that being said, that lasts for a while. Then one day, me and Robert Lee Peters, now Robert Lee Peters and Jane McAllister, to this day we're still tight.
Oh.
Robert Lee Peters was the one that ran and left me that night. The white boys came after me. I understood why he left.
Right.
See, fear can grip the bravest man
Right.
in a way that he can't move. He becomes paralyzed. We come in downtown Lake City, walking downtown, and that, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Rose's 5 and 10 cent store. Spelled like Rose, the word Rose, but it was 5 and 10 cent store. Sort of like a cheap Kmart.
Right. Right.
alcove, sort of like that.
Mhm.
You walk
Yeah.
in this little street, walk up and open the door, go in, an alcove. There's a bottle laying right there. A freaking bottle. So down here, we coming up the street towards that. These white guys come up down the street and we walking and they talking crap to us, call us all these names.
You didn't know them at all?
I didn't know. I knew one of them.
Okay.
I knew the one that I wanted him for like 10 years. Bernie. Bernie ran an ESSO station. You can look that up. ESSO gas station, but he was known for running people out of their car and cutting up their car and shit. And you didn't challenge him because he wore the sheep suit. He was
Oh,
that.
wow.
I knew that. But I always said, I told guys at work when I was just young, Curtis, Helena's uncle. Curtis,
Oh yeah.
he was older than me, much older than me, like an old man.
Yeah, right.
He said to me, he said, you need to get that out of your mind.
Yes.
I said, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to get him one day. I said, if I ever get the chance, Curtis, I'm going to deal with him. Curtis said, you need to just stop that. You don't know anything about it. I said, I know he wears a damn sheet because he's a man. I know that. So, them same guys. Barney was driving that car. I knew his car. 2 guys in there with him, so there's 3 of them. I'm looking at this. I'm scoping this thing, getting me a plan here somehow. Then I saw that, and I put that in my pocket, left hand, that's what I wanted. And I told Robert, I said, man, quit talking trash. I mean, he, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how you shut this dude off, man? I said, Robert, I just got out of jail for one thing. What are you doing, man?
Oh my
I
God.
said, if we can make it to Ninth Street, so I'll be.
Right.
It's like going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
What's 9th Street?
That's your nationality.
Oh,
Where it
gotcha.
crosses
It's like
into.
going to Southeast Washington, D.C.
Yes. Yeah. Crosses back into your culture.
Right.
So we going downtown, but it was a long way to get there now.
Yeah.
We were nowhere in the proximity yet. Come down the corner here, this corner. We got to the corner, and I said, Robert, let's make it right. We had about maybe 2.5, 3/10 of a mile. So it's on 9th Street. That's still a little way to go now. So we get to this corner. Robert Lee's still running his mouth. I'm in the front. No, Robert Lee in the front now. I notice he done switch positions, right? What's this guy getting ready to do, man? He's picking up pace here a little bit. So here we are, crossing the street, and these guys went around the corner this way. We went this way. They parked the car here. And when Bernie jumped out, come after us. And I knew Bernie. So Robert Lee ahead of me. Robert Lee, he did sort of save my life that night. Because he said, look out, he got his knife. But I knew Bernie carried a switchblade.
Right.
Oh yeah. And so when I turned, Bernie was basically in almost I'd say a 66-degree lunge. So that gave me a chance to move. And I just stretched out, but I'm going for that left pocket because I know what I got in there. And I'm gonna pull him into it. And that's the way it happened. Force, full force.
Right.
He went down, and when I got ready to do that, I'm glad them other guys came after because he was down. I took off too. I looked, Raul, been down.
Yeah.
I
A dish dust.
Wingman doing what wingman does.
he was gone.
Yeah.
So here, and this is how things happen, man. Things happen fast. So went to the police station, and I ran to the police station, and I said, look, I need someone to take me home. I got 3 white guys chasing me. So the cop looked at me and said, well, how do you know they're white? I said, because I looked in their face, and they were very white. And he got an attitude too, right? I got to push their buttons too, right? So here they come in the police station, Barney all bloody, and the cop looked at Barney. He said, Barney. Then I realized, goddamn, he know him.
Yeah.
They said that they more than just friends. Standing under the G together, probably. So anyway, Barney said, yeah. Then the cop looked at me and said, did you do this? I said, no, I ain't never seen that man in my life.
Never seen the bottle, never seen the man, never seen the knife.
If you got to ask me, you ain't gonna know the truth.
Yes.
I said, well, I need you to call Mac Knight and Jim Winters. That was the 2 black cops. Take me home. I live in the country, man.
Right.
We're talking 6-7 miles out there. That's the wilderness when you gotta walk that shit at night.
Oh, yes.
And someone out there looking for you.
Still looks like the wilderness,
Yeah.
except for people aren't looking for you, hopefully now.
So they said, I said, well, he said, well, I don't know if I can get them. I said, well, you're gonna have to. So Bernie speaks and I said, we'll take him home.
Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, I would love to go home with you.
What does the desk cop say? Okay.
Yeah.
I said, excuse me.
And you're sitting there saying, I don't even know these people.
I ain't going nowhere. I gotta get Jim. So they got him around there and they took me home. Jim, Mac Knight was huge, man. Like that, it was huge.
I love his name, Mac Knight.
Mac Knight.
Sounds like a professional wrestler.
He was bad. Everybody knew who Mac Knight was. So they took me home Mac Knight and Jim. Jim Wyndham was about 5'5". He could knock the gnat off a plate of grits 50 yards away.
Wow.
Don't ever run. When everybody know when Jim Wyndham says stop, you better stop. Because if he shoot at you, you're dead. See? So anyway, they took me home and the Mac Knight said to me, he said, I know your dad, boy. I said, yep, I'm sitting in the back, driving me home. He said, well, I'm going to give you word of advice. I know these people you're dealing with. Don't be caught by yourself. I said, really? He said, wherever you go, you better go in numbers. Back to my dad, when I got to a certain age, I started working at this Shell station downtown Lake City, you know, after school, summertime, boom, whatever. Sometime after school. Friday, I'd go in to work, then back there Saturday. Off Sunday. It had to be holy on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yep. So anyway, so I did that, and Dad came up and said, boy, you can't be doing that job sometime anymore. I need you on the farm. I said, Dad, you got plenty of croppers out there in that field. Crop in the back. You got plenty of help. I said, he said, yeah, but I need you in the field to run things. I said, but I have a job. See, that was kind of hard to do. To challenge your dad, and you living in his damn house. He agreed.
Wow.
He wasn't drinking. He agreed that, okay, give me Wednesday. Wednesday was his day, because Wednesday was like summertime going. I'm working at the station every day except for Wednesday.
Right.
Because Saturday makes up that fifth day.
Right.
For me, and Sunday, you know. So I worked this out with him, and that Wednesday, come rolling up there early in the morning on that 350 Honda, and went out in the field early in the morning.
Yeah.
Shit. So anyway, 6 o'clock.
Is that like 5? Yeah.
6 o'clock,
in
you
the
better
morning.
be in the damn field
Yeah.
by 5:30.
Yeah.
And that dew can be your friend or your enemy.
And a man.
That cold dew hits you, oh shit. But then you get used to it, so you want to stay wet now.
Yeah.
You got the steam going and you're in
Yeah.
your rhythm, right? So I'm cropping this down the back and I'm saying to myself.
That was his. I'm sorry to cut you off. That was his major crop was tobacco, right? That's what
Oh,
he
that was everybody.
Okay.
Well, the major crops were tobacco and cotton.
Right, but Granddad
In that
just
order.
did tobacco.
Yeah, and then that corn and different things. Soybeans wasn't really on the scene then.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went out there that certain Wednesday, and all I heard is my name ringing through this field. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm saying to myself. And he's talking to these other guys laughing and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? So, that boy ain't worth a shit down there working for that goddamn white man and all this shit, and I'm like, is he talking about me? So, I said, Dad, what are you talking about? You know what this blah blah, and he turned to me. I'm like, oh shit.
No, it's way too early for this.
Did he drink?
God.
Was he already drinking?
Hell yeah.
Did Granddad drink a lot?
He did.
Yeah,
He
I was just
did.
curious.
He drank a lot. That damn naughty head gin. Wow. I said, well, Will, this is it.
Wow.
This is it. Man, I swelled up inside. Well, I welled up inside like I could feel my chest feel like it was going to explode. I'm like, that's your dad. 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 Just leave. Get out of here. So I started walking towards the
Yeah.
house. So that particular day, when I walked out the field, I'm walking out. All I want to do is get to the house.
Yeah.
On the porch, get that gum and crap off my hands. Get on my motorcycle and ride.
Yeah.
So I sort of glanced over my shoulder a little bit and I saw him coming.
Really?
Oh yeah, he was hot. And a little lady coming out from underneath that barn. The mom's working at the barn. Said, they're stringing the back. We're bringing it to them.
Right.
We send it to them. They put it on these sticks and then we put it up in the barn, cure it and all that crap.
The whole family did that? Like Wendella and did everybody help
Wendell
out?
worked the back. Helen helped work the back.
Yeah, okay.
And Ann was already gone, I think. And but she was around too.
Right.
But I get on the porch. I'm washing my hands. I saw Mom coming. I'm just trying to get out of this situation.
Right.
This is a very bad situation. I'm right in it. I should wish I hadn't said nothing to him. You know? Especially when he was
Pretend you
He
didn't
was
hear him.
reasonable when
Pretend
he-
you didn't hear him.
He was reasonable when he wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
But when he was drinking, it was like, God damn. So anyway, get on the porch. I'm washing my hand. And he said to me, and I hear that word, if you don't get your ass back in that field, I'm going to kick you right in your ass. And I heard that. And I dissect that in my mind. I even put the feel of that kick, the force of that kick, and what force will I send back in answer to that? Do I have that right? So you have to think like that. But that's your parent. So I heard Mom kicked in. She said, Irie, I don't think this is the day for you to do that. I don't think you're going to allow you to do that. I think it'd be bad for you to do that. And I turned and I looked at my dad. And he looked at me. I don't know what he saw. But I walked off that porch. He never said a word. And I got on my motorcycle and gone. You know, we talked later.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We always had, you had to talk.
Yeah.
You had to sleep there. So I said, Dad, I need you to sign these papers. So he put them papers out there. He saw that big army thing on top, but that wasn't signed with that stupid flag. So boy, I ain't signing for you to go in no damn military. Dad finally signed, because Mom reasoned with him that in 3 months he won't need your signature. He'll be 18.
Right.
So he signed, and the first time I've seen that man cry in my life.
Really?
I never saw my dad cry until that day when I told him I had to go to the induction center. And he hugged me because they had to take me there and drive me to Florence,
Wow.
get the bus to go to Columbus, South Carolina. And I said, wow, this is the side of you I've never seen. But I hugged him back. That made me feel good.
Hell yeah.
He felt that way. And I went my way in. It was like, end of that saga. Man, let me tell you something. That night, I was on that second bunk lady in this cold ass building. They don't want the damn under. Better not get up close one. That could mean a bunch of trouble. They want to treat you like you're subhuman.
Right. It's conditioning.
I'm up there, tears rolling. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell did
You
I
wish
do?
you could be back in that field with Irene.
I'm like, God, what did I do? Got through that. Did pretty good in there. They helped me channel some of my anger
Right.
by taking my money every time I screwed up. They had a way of training you.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the way, you know, I'll fight when I have to. So anyway, got over that. But I was fighting all the oppression and stuff that I'd faced as a child, and I'm not going to let you run over me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Hell no, I'd rather die. So anyway, military. That's when I got in the military.
Right.
At that point, so came home on leave and stuff. Me and Dad got along. We talked. We were still distant a little bit, but you know, we talked. And he always told me, be careful. You know, I said, well, I'm going overseas to Korea. Be over there for 13 months.
But wasn't your original assignment? I thought you were originally going to Vietnam, and then that changed.
When I got ready to leave, yeah, you're right. When I went to St. Louis, Missouri, you know, what I know. So yeah, when I went to St. Louis, Missouri for AIT training, before my final orders came down 2 or 3 times saying Vietnam.
Right, Vietnam.
And they couldn't ship me on temporary orders.
Right.
So I had to stay there and take the Vietnam training and survival and all that shit. So, but when they finally came down saying Korea.
Korea, yeah. Right? Right? How lucky.
Because by then, even in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, soldiers were being brought home dead from Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
And I was put on a funeral detail.
Really?
I was a pallbearer for the United States Army there in Sumter, South Carolina for a while.
Wow.
So
I
every
didn't know
time
that.
they needed a pallbearer, I was one of them. And we'd get in this car and go to wherever we had to go. And you had to be regimented with that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
make no goddamn mistakes.
No.
You better fold that shit. You better be like a soldier. You better not even be cutting your damn eyes. You know,
Right.
that was a serious time.
How long were you in Korea?
13 months.
Oh, really?
So that was
And what was your job?
blowing shit up.
Perfect.
Like what type of shit? Just all shit?
I thought it was
Building
bridges.
Oh, is it blowing up bridges or
Coal
building
engineer.
You were on a boat a lot, right?
I operated, but I was a boat operator.
And you couldn't swim.
Couldn't swim a leg. Didn't
That
worry
doesn't
about it.
sound
Why
safe.
isn't that in
If I had
military
to-
training?
Like one time, I don't
No
know why it
kidding.
was. Like one time I got hung up in Papa Simon's freaking fishing net. My boat went, "Brr!" I said, oh God damn, Papa Simon, dude.
I can't swim.
I took a rope, put it on the cleats on the boat, tied it around me. So I figured as long as I got the damn rope, I can come up out of here. Shit, yeah. So I dived down in there, holding that damn rope around my waist, make sure it ain't going nowhere. Come back up here.
Yeah.
Go ahead now, come back up here. So I finally got the damn net out of there. Never thought about drowning.
Shit, that's been the
Oh,
first thing.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
So what did you think? What was Korea like? Did it make sense while we were there? And
Shit, man, you want to go back to cotton fields, man.
really,
It was rough, man. I mean, the hardest thing when I first got there to deal with was the stench. Well, when you first get there, they brief you and tell you where you're going, then they load you on these freaking trucks and they take you up there, and you think, well, where's this trip going in? Then it gets rough, and so you know you're going up in the freaking mountains some damn where. Then you open up, it comes into this compound, they take you to these big tents, there's your bunk,
no,
you got a fucking mosquito net,
no.
and you better learn how to operate that. Them goddamn mosquitoes, 6 of them come take your ass and relocate you
Jurassic Park
to the eating zone.
Yeah.
So you out there now, you're a river rat. That's what they call us, river rats. And I learned my boat operating skills in St. Louis, Missouri, and ran into a Canadian guy in Korea who was awesome.
So you use the term river rat. Like, what does that mean? Was that just your group, or what did river rats do?
We patrol the river.
Oh, okay.
We operate, we control that. And I mean control, we control. If we pull you, we got you. If we would go out, the Air Force in Seoul would call out a communication tower and say, we need you to go out on scrimmage tonight. So, and we had 10 boats holding the bridge, 5 on each side of that bridge. That bridge was a very complicated bridge. It was a pontoon floating bridge, and you had 5 boats over here, 5 boats over here tied off between these pontoons. And then there was a cable, a tower that went from that side north to the south, and the tower there went north to south. So these ropes would go up from that pontoon to hold that bridge in place. All them ropes on the cable, both ends. Bridges like this, can't go nowhere. These boats here, their primary responsibility is to, with operators, is to, if we have to swing it to the left or swing it to the right, we have a man go over and cut that cable. That frees the bridge up so we can swing it. Then if we need to get it back out there, we push it from this corner back out, tie it off here, reline that. It was very, engineering crime.
Right.
And then if you had a bridge over here called Liberty, and then you had one over here called Freedom, and I think there was like 8 miles between, 6 or 7 miles between. So we here, in case the North get ugly on this side, or down here, our job was to cut these 5 boats loose, boom, go blow this bridge. That's a permanent bridge.
Now there was heat going on at this time. There was firefights. And stuff.
Oh, hell yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
wasn't the peaceful time where we.
No,
were
you had
hanging
your
out.
little scrimmages.
Yeah.
So you blow this bridge so they can't get across. You come back and rehook East Dispatch. They blow this bridge. They already wired. They already have explosives on them. We just have to bring them alive. So your primary responsibility then now is to come back and relocate, hook off the bridge, because now we're pulling everybody friendly from the north back across that bridge. That's the only way we can get across. Mm-hmm. We blew that and we blew that.
Right.
So right behind all the good troops come the bad troops.
Right.
So now that's where your battle line starts.
Right.
You get as many across. Now if you have to swing the bridge before you get all your friendlies across, that's just too bad. You have to give yourself time to have these 5 boats back off, cut the cable, swing it, get the bridge out the way. You don't want the enemy using the bridge. Now you take up these 5 boats and these 5 boats, we come in line and we lay down a bed of fire. Mm-hmm. We already did. Because we asked the question in the class, what about us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They said, well, at that point, it's 100% casualties. I'm like,
I was gonna say that's a
you mean
silly
like it's
question.
dead?
Yeah.
And they're okay with this strategy?
You had to be okay. You
Can't we rewrite this plan?
What are you gonna do? You become
to.
adapted to it, even though it's sense, you get used to that. You get used to the filth, because it was filthy as hell, I'm telling you.
Was it just filthy because of hygienics or because
Hygienics.
of waste, like from
They had
the
no
military
waste
products?
systems.
Oh, okay.
You know, you go out through the village, Mama San, she got her frock
Yeah.
down, and she's sitting, pooping, he gets up, she moves on.
Right.
Guy come with a shovel, puts it in the barrel.
Do you sorry?
No.
Do you recall, just for my own geographical edification, do you recall the name of the river?
The Jim River. Jim River. So we knew our job.
Right.
And every now and then they let us go into the company to party. Most of the time we party on the damn river. I used to take my boat out. Where you going? Well, taking a cruise.
Yeah.
Go down the river, pull into this damn little place I knew. Park that goddamn boat, tied in. Go up into the village, eat me a nice dinner, shit.
Yeah, because you mentioned the food was good.
Oh, yeah.
So did you enjoy it more than it was, like, was it scary? Did you find more,
The first,
did you find fulfillment there that you weren't getting, in the Carolinas?
we adapt.
Yeah.
We adapt to our environment, our surroundings. Somehow we just adapt. You can be a oddball and decide to become a recluse into yourself, or you can just broaden out and realize you here 13 freaking months, man.
Yeah.
You're either gonna be a turtle or you're gonna come out of that damn shell.
Right.
So I'd go down to the village, get to know all the Koreans and shit. They used to call me number Hokkien 1 soldier. Number 1 soldier in the village was me.
Really?
So I felt protected. I get down that shit.
How did you get this name?
I earned it by taking them cigarettes and
Being useful.
yeah. Papa San said, I need cigarettes. I said, well, I'll fix you up next time, Papa San. I'm down there drinking 9.
They call everybody Papa San?
We call the old men.
Bill and Papa San?
He had to have beer.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, this is the real Papa San. This
Right.
ain't no freaking shit.
Like a Papa San.
And everybody respect him.
Right.
Any old Papa San, any old Mama San.
Right.
The old Mama Sans. Kids, they're not sassy, them old ones.
Yeah.
Them young ones, they done pop you upside the damn head. You don't do that. Down in the village, so I go down there and I'd bring Papa San a damn carton of cigarettes. I could get them out of the PX for $2.50 for a carton of cigarettes. $2.50. I said, I can make some money on this shit.
Hell yes.
Right? $2.50.
Let's go back to those days.
Yeah.
Papa San,
Without the racism.
I said, Papa San, I bring cigarettes, you pay me in Korean money.
Yeah.
I had so much fucking Korean money. I felt like
Starting a racket.
It's just turned into Scarface.
American gangster, man.
Right.
From the Carolinas, they sent me to Fort Dix. Then from Fort Dix, I was supposed to get on a plane, Kennedy Airport, wherever it was, and fly out to fly to Germany.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving Fort Dix. I figured a way to stay there. So I went down to the PX, bought these sergeant stripes, and put them on. Put me a band on, the green band they have around here. Bought me some ribbons
Is
Put
this
him on
real?
there. Oh yeah, that happened. I wasn't going to Germany, man. So I go up in there. They ended up sitting in the mess hall. I was supposed to be gone 3 or 4 days ago to Korea. To Germany. I ain't left yet. I'm gonna live this out. So by the time my thought was, or my thinking was, once they catch me, then they're gonna say, okay, he dogged us for a month. It's gonna cost the military extra money to send him to Germany now, so we just let him stay here. That's my thinking. So I'm sitting up in this mess hall, eating like a sergeant, eating with the sergeants and everybody, talking to these guys like I'm a sergeant. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're talking all this administrative crap. I'm a soldier, man.
Yep.
I belong in the trenches. I don't know what he's talking about.
But you're the one that put the stripes on, so
Right?
start
Yeah.
to speak.
You better start making some stuff
I'm
up.
sitting there, and all of a sudden this guy comes up to me. I noticed there's an MP with him. I'm like, damn, they done found out some shit. Because when I got there, they didn't have anything on me because I deliberately left my whole manila fold with all my shit on the bus. The Greyhound bus that I rode in there. So I figured that was gone. They ain't gonna find that now, so they gotta do up new papers. Now, I can say Sergeant Collier. This guy comes up in there, he takes this packet of paper, threw it on the table, I'm sitting there eating. I looked at him and I looked at that MP and I'm like, I'm saying to myself, this ain't good. So he said, we found your paperwork.
Uh-huh.
I said, well, I appreciate that. Damn. They said, you come go with us.
I was wondering where that
They
was.
took me to the PO. They took me to the damn MP office. They said, soldier, we found your papers. You're going tonight. They put my ass on the first thing smoking the
They
joint.
did.
They didn't charge me. I said, damn, it didn't work. So we get to the barracks that night. Barracks are, I think your mother maybe told you they were like 3-story high. Now, put me on the 2nd floor and they got all this stuff laid out. There are canteens, there are rolled blankets, all this shit laid out. And I'm like, I said, man, why are you telling me to stay here? What do you want me to stay in here for? We want you to guard this stuff. Guard it from who? Who's gonna steal it? We're not even in a damn combat zone. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Where you at, man?
Yeah.
He said, sir, this is a drill. I said, well, don't call me sir. I ain't no damn officer. I wouldn't be an officer.
I was an officer last week. You missed it.
That's pretty good, Chris. I like it. And you know what? Your mom, every time she would read that paper, she would say, I read this and I don't understand how you were able to walk away from this. It's just like she came into my life at a time when I was at my lowest.
Yeah.
The Army wouldn't send me to Vietnam, which I signed up to go. I volunteered to go. They said, well, we can't do that. I said, why in the hell can't you? All you gotta do is cut a damn ticket, fly my ass to Japan, jump start me right on into Vietnam. I'm home, back in the bush, right?
Right.
We can't do that. We have to send you back to the United States and train you for another 14 months, then send you. I said, you out of your goddamn mind. I only got 14 months left in the military, but you have to re-up. I said, ain't no way in the world I'm re-upping. So I decided to stay in Germany. That's what kept me there. I couldn't get Vietnam. If I got Vietnam, gone.
Right.
Man coming off the street, you don't know me and I don't know you, but I need a job. I don't know what you do. I'm a painter. Boom, boom. So they hired me, went into the field. Another awkward situation. You hire in, I'm thinking they got a paint shop set up, organized. No, you have to go to the job, look around like an idiot, then go to the store, get what you need,
Oh man.
come back.
Yeah.
You lost your parking. You're in DC. You're gonna get a ticket. Now you gotta deal with it. You gotta argue with the boss why you got the freaking ticket. Well, why didn't you have the freaking job set up? Now I don't have to park the damn vehicle one time legally. See, once I moved it, now you don't shake it ground. See, so wherever you park, you're gonna get a damn ticket in DC.
Yeah.
So they sent me to 1801 K Street, Washington DC. Never been there in my freaking life. The guy said, okay, you want the job, go downtown, 1801 K Street. Here's the direction on a piece of paper. I didn't have GPS.
Right.
Nobody was talking to me.
Right.
No one was saying, make a left at the next sign. That's what I'm waiting. But the point I'm making, I went back, worked there a while, then all of a sudden, this guy by the name of Ray Palazzo, I'll never forget his name. you know, that meant something. I still remember Ray Palazzo.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 78 or whatever. That meant something. He worked for IBM. He was one of the persons who made sure we as contractors carried out well for IBM, do the job right. So we had a conversation going on. So what did he do? He calls Barlow's office and says, you don't have a paint job. You don't have anyone out here that capable of running one until I met this guy by the name of Will Collier. You need to hire that man into the shop, into the office. Put him in the office. So let him establish you a paint shop. So Frank calls me and I want to know, shit, I lost this job. He said, I got a call, blah, 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 Ray Palazzo. He said, you know, I got one of the best men in the field for starting a paint shop. And I'm thinking, okay, so what do you need from me? He said, well, I was talking about you. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I started the business because Barlow was going under,
Right.
under Chapter 11. And I took a credit card. I had $2,400 on that credit card. And that's how I started my business.
Nice.
I forfeit. I took a gamble. I rolled the dice. I said, okay, I'll just max this card out
Right.
by going to the paint,
And you had a partner.
David Forgione.
There.
And I told him how I'd start it.
Yeah.
I'll max it out, go get what we need to get
They had
started.
T-shirts and hats.
We
Collier and
started
Forgione.
with, National Automobile Dealers Association, NADA, people who did the Blue Book.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started at. Stan Mays was his name. He gave me an opportunity. He said, you know what? You seem like a hard worker. You seem like you stick to what you say. You're a man of your word. I give you an opportunity. So I bid the job and took it from Barlow's. I took care of the maintenance there and renovation there and whatever they wanted me to do. So I created that manpower network that I could call on. Not just guys that I was responsible for paying every week, but other contractors. If I ran into something I need to have done, I could call them and they come in and I pay them.
Right.
So that's how I figured I'd run this thing. So the first payday, me paying my guys, me and David ended up, I think we had, between the two of us, I think we had $75 each for that week.
Wow.
Ain't shit.
I had money on receivables, you know,
Yeah.
coming in, but it wasn't in my hand yet.
Right.
So I had to figure out how I'm gonna pay my rent. I'm gonna help David pay his, because I got David out here on this shit. I gotta make this happen.
Right.
So I told David, I said, David, I know you're not gonna be pleased with this. Let's pay the men. I got $25 for you and $25 for me, and the rest of the little change I gotta leave in the company just going next week.
Right.
So all of a sudden IBM called. Bowling called.
Yeah. I remember working on IBM jobs.
I'm saying, this is happening.
Yeah.
So I told Dave, I pulled David in on a private meeting with him and I told him, I said, look, I said, I know it's gonna blow your mind, man. I said, but my head is blowing up right now. I said, I'm gonna bid everything from an outhouse to a mansion. We're not turning anything down.
Right.
If they want us to paint a closet, and
Right.
that's all that customer wants, we're going to paint that goddamn closet.
Right. Getting your name out there.
That's how we did it. We got our name out there. Once
Yeah.
our name got out there, and then it was like.
And I have very good memories of Springfield, Virginia.
Springfield was good, 'cause I remember when Clarissa and, was it Clarissa or Wesley?
Probably Wesley.
Came on. We had to dig out the snow to get to the hospital, and all the neighbors came out.
No, that was.
Oh no, that
for
was me.
All the neighbors came out.
Yeah.
And then, man, those people, God, I love my neighbors.
Yeah.
They
That
shoved
was a good place.
goddamn snow out the way so quick. And I was gone.
And
Got
we
me to the hospital,
stayed with Dave Forgione. No, we stayed with Uncle Nate.
Uncle Nate.
Yeah, we stayed with Uncle Nate.
For a minute. Wasn't that long.
Oh.
I didn't allow my family to be anywhere too damn long.
Well, I know, but we were there while you guys were dealing.
A couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was dealing with him too.
Well, then Wesley was sick for a little bit. We were worried about his heart murmur.
Yeah, that was a very, for me, for your mom too, hey, your mom definitely, a very emotional time because him being born a bra baby, and that came out okay. Then they hit us with this damn heart situation, and I'm like, well, what the hell is going on here? Are these people bullshitting me? So my mind started to play tricks on me. Are they bullshitting me? Or is this real?
Yeah.
So I made sure the doctors did their job, because I wanted to let them know I'm in your face.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there. So that's why I didn't. They mostly had me understand that we're not going to hurt your family.
Right.
Because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I didn't trust them anymore.
Right.
Nobody. So I put up my walls around me. You got to prove to me now. I don't have to come in here and say, yes, sir, okay, that's good. No, you fucking tell me what's going on, man.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Wesley was a bra baby, and then we had to take him down to Children's Hospital in Washington, D.C., and they put him on this little papoose thing that the Indians made. Strapped him down really tight, and he's screaming and yelling and carrying on. I'm like, wait a fucking minute. So the doctor said, Mr. Scotty, you got to be okay with this. We don't want you taking wild shots at us. And all we trying to do. And I told him I understand that, but you need to keep me informed, well informed what's going on. So they took him in, and your mom, she's freaking out because that's her baby.
Right.
And at that time, and that damn test came back 98.5% that he's okay. Well, when technology, science proved that the lower quadrant of the heart, there's a hole that won't close. Upper quadrant, 9 times out of 10 will close.
Right.
So Wesley was in the upper quadrant of the heart. Made me feel good.
So now there's me and Wesley, and now it's like, oh wow, now we got another baby coming. Clarissa.
Not planned.
She was well planned. I wanted 2 sons and a daughter.
Yeah.
And I asked, we decided we're going for the daughter. We got the 2 little knuckleheads, so let's go for the daughter. And that's what happened. We got our wish.
Right.
That's unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
You ask for it, and then you grant it, you're blessed with that.
Yeah.
All good things from above. I said, man, I need you to run some ads in the paper for painters hired on the job. IBM, Democracy Boulevard, gave me the address, right? So James ran that for me.
Huge.
And painters were coming. I had my checkbook, my briefcase, and everything with me, because you hire people on the job.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got to watch them.
Yeah. What was the bid on something like that at that time?
That was an $84,000 project.
Dang.
Yeah.
And that was just for
That was a big place.
But that was just for the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
They gave me 2 weeks. I said, okay, I'm going to turn this.
Yeah.
I turned it, man. I turned it damn right.
We even painted the lines in the parking lot.
Hell yeah.
Right before the Super Bowl.
Nice.
And I'm like, serious?
How the fuck you remember that?
Chicago, because the Chicago Bears were playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you serious right now?
We did it.
Yeah. So that was a good one. And
Yeah, it was.
Boeing
Yeah.
and different ones that we did. It was all good. Man, I was pumped up.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. You know where I was going to build us a house at? Great Falls.
Really? Wow. That would have been great.
I'm going to buy me a lot and build this freaking 2-story home with a full basement, walk out,
Yeah.
pool tables, and things don't always work like you plan, but at least you had a goal.
Yeah.
Reaching that goal, all the obstacles that can happen will happen because they're trying to hinder you. But if you focus on your goals throughout all the pain and anguish you go through down that little journey, see, you're on a road that not everybody's on. See, everybody that I can think of is on this spacious road where it's easy, just go along.
Yeah.
But when you get on that narrow road, that you gotta concentrate, focus to stay on,
Yeah.
it makes it tight. But when you reach that goal, it's all worth it.
Like business was kicking. We got 3 babies now.
Business wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
I had no
You were
problem
killing it.
generating business.
Yeah.
It had gotten to where our name was out there, and people were calling.
Yeah.
I just had to perform. Then when I got the news my sister was cancer with a tumor in her head, I told Lucinda, I said, well, Dave, we driving to Michigan. So she was all about it.
Yeah.
We loaded up. Pew. Anyway, went there and did that. When I saw my sister, came back, and then had to deal with the issue of her calling me. She called me one night and said, hey, that's how we talk to each other. I said, what's going on?
No.
Wendell.
That was dynamic.
She said,
person.
well,
you guys
you know,
are very
you and I,
similar.
I'm sure her
she
and
said-
I would have got along.
Oh
thick
my
as
God.
thieves.
You guys
She
are
told me,
very
she said,
similar.
you know, me and you fought a lot of battles. I said, you damn right. I said, remember, I can still see that can you caught me between my damn eye with. A little scar there. She was good too. Fast. God damn, that girl could dance. But every part of her body,
It's muscle.
no, was a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
You run up on her thinking this is all she had. She throw that shit on you. It's like, where'd that come from? Then she knee you in your damn side.
Yeah.
Then toe you in your groin. That girl could fight. Then if she ever bit your ass, she knew where to bite you.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If she caught your ear, she hold that and beat the shit out of you. You're screaming, right?
Yeah.
And she got this
I don't know.
shit.
She was sweet to me. I never know.
Dance? Dance?
You don't
Oh, yeah,
remember?
yeah, that's right. You came to, we went
Oh,
to
yeah.
Michigan. And,
She loved me.
Wendella was unique.
Yeah.
I miss my sister, even though when I was in Germany, she'd write me and we'd write each other.
Yeah.
She was unique. She was a person that we used to call her the girl with no bones.
Hmm.
She could do unique moves and dance on the damn dance floor.
Hmm.
Her and a guy by the name of, they call him Mookie.
Mookie.
One of the best dancers in the Carolinas. And when Wendy got on the floor,
With Mookie.
when Wendella got on the floor with her, they would be so fluidly jointed
Right.
and moving.
That'd
It was
be
like this
cool.
shit was choreographed.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yet she hung on and could fight now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was tough. She was the first lady I known that guys respect her ass. Oh yeah, they didn't want no dealing with her. And she left home young. I didn't want to see her leave. I think Wendella got married when she was 15. I didn't want to see that. Then she got pregnant. She got pregnant with twins, Linda and Glenda. And both of them died. And that shocked her. Then along after that came Dexter and Dennis.
Right.
And then after that came Kenny and Sandra.
Sandra.
See, and after that, her life just spiraled out of control.
Really?
Then the health issue came in with the tumor in the head, cancer.
Yeah.
Because cancer runs in the family. Keep
Yeah.
yourself checked. I keep myself checked.
I did.
Got granddad,
Yeah.
Wendella, Helen.
Yeah.
No, not her, but he died of a bullet.
Right.
So, for those who want to start their own business,
Okay.
what kind of advice would you have for people?
Well, have a plan. Create a plan. And whatever plan you create, see, a lot of people make mistakes. They create a plan for a business. Then they get to this point, and they say, well, I think I'll switch up. Add this to that. No.
Stick to your plan.
You didn't start that out here. What make you think you can just add it in without going back to the beginning?
Right.
Reestablish your thoughts again. This is going to cause you to fail because it wasn't in the beginning.
Right.
If you're not careful. So my plan was to create and build and establish a well recognized commercial, industrial, and residential painting establishment. That's what I did.
What you did for years.
I went to IBM,
Yeah.
SAIC, Booz Allen and Hamilton. Went to all them big boys. Aerospace, Boeing. And I said, here I am. Well, they look at me like, who the fuck are you? Give me an opportunity to show you. It's like you started flying airplanes, Boeing. Someone gave you an opportunity. In my trade, I already had a trade like you just said.
Yeah.
My daughter. So anyway, if you take that and look at the amount of business needs, service needs, so I saw, well, this is wide open.
Yeah. There's a huge void.
There's a lot of them out there, but
Yeah.
I'm offering something they ain't offering.
Yeah.
Custom quality work
Yeah.
with a name.
Yeah.
And then when you give to the customer something, you might bid a house and the customer say, well, can you throw in them 2 doors? Heck yeah, I'll throw them 2 doors in.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
See, now you're building your clientele.
Yeah.
But anyway, mine was the painting business, or it would have been the carpentry, or it would have been wall covering. Either one of those, I would have been successful in. If I was
For when you pass away, what would you want us to remember as your advice for us to live forward?
Oh, what a thing to put on.
well, the
Put 'em
first
on the spot.
one would be to, as we grow into adulthood, lots of things happen with siblings. Okay, but I can say that from experience. My best advice for my children in regards to their siblings is to keep the peace. There's a
Pretty good at that.
there's a force in the world that can make it their resolve to interrupt the peace.
Yeah.
Conflicts happen, situations happen. Say that again?
Forgiveness.
Yeah. See?
What do you want to be remembered for?
Having a good name. I want my name preserved. I want my name to not be dragged through the mud on some person that just couldn't understand me or see the will. If a person is here, born, here, you to expire. I had to do something through this era here, make me a worthwhile person. But we all imperfect. So a man that dies with a good name is better than a man that's born with a name, period. When you're born with a name, what have you done? You can't even talk for yourself. But yet, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. And then when you reach that plateau to where it's time to expire, saying something nice about that person, that says a lot. The end of a person's life says a lot about that person. But how you treat people, whether you're in a marriage, relationship, whatever you're doing, business, whatever your ventures are, journey is in this life, do it the best of your ability. Not based on what everybody else is doing. That's that little crooked road you live on.
Right.
Not everybody want to get on that road. You ain't gonna find too many people jumping on a rugged road. But you'll find them jumping on that broad and spacious road because everybody doing the same crap.
Yeah.
Nobody's being accountable. But on this road here, you're accountable for how good you do in your business, IRS. You're accountable for how good you do in your marriage.
Yeah.
You're accountable.
Yeah.
And even in a marriage, you make mistakes, but it's that real character in that person, whether it's the male or the female, that come and say, I'm sorry. I found through my life period, some of the hardest words for people to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've known people never said that in their life. I've cornered people and say, you know what, guy, the reason she left you is, have you ever said I'm sorry? Well, no, that's why she's gone.
Yeah.
Now you sitting here licking your wounds when you could have said, I'm sorry.
You know, and that's just another thing about my father that impresses me so much. You know, a family is really important to him. You know, he's not above saying, I'm sorry, and trying to fix relationships. You know, I watched the relationship between him and my grandfather get better over time, and the relationship that he's built with my sister and my brother. You know, hell, even my mother, you know, was willing to forgive my father. He's just a great guy. You know, now for me, it took a little longer. You know, I was too busy pointing out the specks of wood in his eye and ignoring the forest I had in my own eye. I think it would have been much better had I forgave and forgot than hold on to that root of bitterness for so long. But when the roles were reversed and I asked my father for forgiveness, he's quick to just drop it and it's done. You know, I'm 40-something years old and he's still teaching me things. You know, my dad he's a great man, you know, with one hell of a good name. So this is just part one. I lied to you, Dad. You're going to have to do more because there's more stories I want to hear. So happy birthday, Dad. Love ya.